You press the bell and I open the bus. I stop the bus.
Welcome to Bus Driver Life. My name is Kiwan. I've been a bus driver for 18 years. I've driven school buses, and I currently drive transit buses in Northern California and the Sacramento area. In this video, we're gonna take a look at a video of a bus driver, an angry bus driver yelling at a teenager on the bus, yelling at a passenger. We're gonna see, was it justified? Why did this happen? I'm gonna let you know my opinion on it. So let's get started.
It's got a bell. You press the bell and I open the bus. I stop the bus. Don't fucking call me names, alright? Respect yourself. I'm black. What's black got to do with this? You press the bell.
I told you.
Listen, you don't tell me. That's why it's got a bell. What's wrong with you? You press the bell and I'll stop.
I beg you open the door. It's a joke. I beg you.
It's got nothing to do with black,
Can you
right?
open the door?
I open the door when I get in there.
Joke, man.
Let's see what the caption of the video says from the person that uploaded the original video, and I will have a link to the original video in the description below. Okay, so caption / description. Metroline driver reacts to angry passenger on Route 112. The kid, kid, but like a teenager. It wasn't like a 6-year-old kid. This looks like a 16, 17-year-old potentially. The kid was on his phone and he saw the bus was passing the bus stop. So he asked him if he could stop. So the kid was on his phone. So the kid, the teenager, he was not paying attention to where the bus was at. So the bus passed the stop that the kid needed, but apparently there was no bell rung, no stop requested because the kid was not paying attention. So just a helpful hint to passengers, you have to make sure that you are paying attention when you're riding the bus, because the only way that us bus drivers know to stop is if you pull the cord or press a button, which then signals us that the next stop is needed.
You ain't lying.
Says, and to be honest, the driver could have stopped as a bus in front was pulling out, but the driver didn't have to stop because it wasn't a bus stop. Come on, people. See, here's the thing. People are quick to say, you bus drivers need to remain professional, you need to remain calm, you need to stay seated at all times. Oh, it's a shame that that bus driver was yelling. It's a shame that the bus driver reacted like that. But the key word here is react or reaction. What caused this confrontation to happen in the first place? Let's get to the source. People, stop being so hateful and rude and condescending to the bus driver. If you would just get on the bus, pay your fare, and when it's time for you to get off, stop request your stop, and then get off the bus, everything will be fine. These confrontations wouldn't even happen. If that young passenger would not have insulted the bus driver probably would not have gotten upset and jumped out of the cab. I'm not saying that it's justified that they jumped out of the cab. I'm not saying that it's justified that they yelled at the person, but it's also not justified for a passenger who made a mistake to go up there and fuss and yell, and well, I don't think he was yelling because we could barely hear him, but for him to go fuss and call the bus driver names and get angry at the bus driver, as the description of this video stated, because the passenger made a mistake. That's not the bus driver's fault. So I can understand why the bus driver got upset. I get it. I'm not saying it's justified. I'm saying I understand. So when we're talking about these types of situations, we have to make sure that we look at the big picture and we look at what started the entire confrontation. How did this begin? Did the bus driver just randomly jump out the seat and say, I need to yell at people?
That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works.
Is that what happened? Is that what you think is happening in a lot of these confrontations?
Yes.
In videos like this, they try and paint this picture that, whoa, this bus driver's out of control. They just started yelling. This bus driver did not just start yelling. He made it clear when he was yelling that he was called names, and this person brought up the fact that he was black.
Don't fucking call me names, alright? Respect yourself. I'm black. What's black got to do with this?
It sounds as if this passenger was being rude and disrespectful. He wasn't yelling, but you don't have to yell to be rude and disrespectful.
You ain't lying.
So every action has a reaction. Had that young passenger not taken the actions that he took, the reaction that we saw in this video would have never happened. So yes, you can say the bus driver was being unprofessional. They shouldn't have jumped out of the cab. I get that. But you also have to acknowledge the fact that that would have never happened had the passenger not done what the passenger did.
Thanks, Captain Obvious.
Let's read just a couple of comments from this video. Driver being in the right, but shouldn't have reacted like that. That's fair. If the kid needed to get off, he should have pressed before the bus reached the stop. That's true. This comment says, I'm a bus driver. Stop, let passenger off, problem solved. Yeah, I agree to a certain extent. I will stop at the next stop and let the passenger off. I'm not even about to argue and go back and forth. I'm not gonna jump out of my seat. I stop at the next stop. You missed the last stop. That's not my responsibility. I have to drive the bus safely, get you to the next stop safely, and then you can exit the bus then. So I agree. Okay, this person, Trending Transport Production. So I'm guessing this is like a bus fan or something. They said, I know that driver. He is rude driver. Then he said, he does my local route on 324 and I show him letter, order, Oyster Zip, and he refused not to let me on bus. I didn't have Oyster Zip card. So you did not have your Oyster card, but you had a letter showing that you ordered a card. So that's probably why the driver refused your ride. Now I'm not sure what the policy is there. It seems like this is a student, so I'm not sure, but it seems like maybe the letter is not valid. I don't know. Then it says down here, use your common sense. Why would a letter give you free travel? You pay as normal like adults till yours come. Like I said, I'm not sure, but I don't think a bus driver upholding a policy is rude. Matter of fact, I made a video about why people say bus drivers are rude or why they think we're rude. And a lot of times it's because we're doing our jobs. Oh, this comment from someone I recognize. And it says, people always expect bus drivers to not react. If passengers would treat us like human beings and be respectful and compassionate, we would never react the way this bus driver did. I'm sure this bus driver did not just randomly jump out of his seat and begin yelling at this passenger. Something led up to this confrontation. Stop being so hateful towards bus drivers. Yeah.
Stop it.
Okay, here's another one. James Bus Enthusiast. So this is a bus fan. And yeah, the driver was terrible. So James Bus Enthusiast didn't really look at the situation and think about how it started. And they just looked at it and said, oh yeah, terrible bus driver. Really?
Yes.
You have to look at the whole situation and be like, okay, I understand how this got to this point.
No!
Response to that was, whoever took the video did not take the video from the beginning. The boy was calling me names, all names under the sun. And he says, and who are you? He says, am the driver in the video. So I don't know if that really is the driver, but this person claims they are actually the driver. And they're saying the boy was calling him names, and that kind of makes sense based off of what he was saying when he was yelling. Don't call me names, and what does this have to do about me being black? You have to be careful how you talk to people. Like, us bus drivers, we're not your punching bags. We're not people that you can just run up to and just start calling us names, and then we just have to sit there and take it and just shut up, and you could just mistreat us. And even if you're a teenager, you're still responsible for your actions. You should be more respectful, especially to adults who are trying to help you and get you to where you gotta be.
You ain't lying.
So what do you all think about that situation? Do you think the bus driver was 100% in the wrong and there's no reason on earth why you can imagine the bus driver jumping out their seat and getting upset? I'm not justifying the reaction, but I do want to bring attention to what led up to that reaction. What was the bus driver reacting to? And that's what a lot of people tend to ignore in these situations because they just want to say, hey, the bus driver's terrible. If you're new to my channel, I hope I've earned your subscription. And I'll see you next time on Bus Driver Life.
A few moments later.
I think when I go to work tomorrow to drive, I'm gonna just randomly yell at people because that's what us bus operators are supposed to do, right? We're always just randomly yelling at people. Nobody says anything to us. We just start yelling. Intro. Boom, 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 boom.